Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Let's open a beverage of your choice because we are doing another edition of Frightful Fridays, in which I'm going to be doing Piranha. No, not the Piranha that I did for Tuesday on Terrifying Tuesdays. This is the Piranha that I thought I was talking about, or that, this is another Piranha. Okay. This is the 1978 version directed by Joe Dante. The other one was a not great movie that had the same name. This one is the movie that had the sequels Piranha 2 and Piranha 3 Double D. So this isn't me reviewing the same movie. Now, this movie is, like I said, came out in 1978. It's directed by Joe Dante, and it is rated R. This movie actually has something to do with the titular fish, piranhas. Imagine that. So, you have a woman by the name of Maggie McEwen, who is a skip tracer. Now, skip tracer generally is a bounty hunter, as far as I know, who, if someone, skips out on a bail hearing, they go after them. But in this version, she and her company and her boss are hired to find these two hikers, a male and female. I guess they were supposed to be teenagers or around there, who went missing on a hike. And she is the person, the best skip tracer that her boss has. So she is sent out to try and find them. And she heads out to where they were hiking. And in the process of trying to find them, she's going along the trail where they were hiking. She comes across a guy by the name of Paul Grogan, who is a kind of a loner, a drunk. Though you don't really see him drunk in the movie, he just happens to do a lot of drinking. And she enlists him. She enlists to help her find the people because he knows the area, and so boom. Where would these people go? And they wind up at an abandoned government/military research facility, thinking that is where they might have been. And of course, not knowing that they actually had been there, and they went skinny dipping in a pool they found there, and wound up getting eaten by the piranhas in the pool. And they find their backpacks hidden in this room, and they're like, oh, gee, they were here. And they're thinking, okay, they're in the pool, so they wind up emptying the pool, or it's that the pool, thinking, hey, maybe they might have drowned in there or something, and let's see if they were in there, and therefore releasing the genetically mutated strain of piranhas out into the water, local rivers and stuff, therefore endangering everybody downstream. Now, and then they find out, what they did because of the doctor that was working there, and then they have to race to try and find a way to warn the population downstream, in which there is a little summer camp in which Paul's daughter is staying. They have to try and stop them before they get there and save everybody. This is actually kind of a good movie. I mean, it's not obviously going to win any awards, but I mean, it was, for its time, it was pretty good. I mean, they didn't really kind of hold back on its, I don't want to say violence, but you see one guy, they pull him out of the water and his skin is missing from the knees down. Everything's missing from the knees down except for the bones. When it gets bloody, it gets, pretty bloody. I mean, not like terrifying, the movie Terrifier levels, or stuff like that. But it's pretty pretty bloody, and they don't really skimp on stuff. And the story kind of flows naturally. I mean, Joe Dante is a good director, and the motivations for the people involved, or their responses make sense, because you have to have certain people that just don't believe things in order for things to happen, and things like this. Like if you're a cop and I come up and saying, hey, you've got to get the people out of the water or someplace. There's piranhas in the water, and it's like, yeah, dude, this is, someplace, Texas or something like that. They're gonna be like, yeah, dude, there's no piranhas in this area of the world. So, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. They're just like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? And a guy who's known to be the local drunk coming up and trying to warn you about this stuff, you're not gonna believe the guy. And when of course, the military is involved, because it was a former military installation, and the colonel in charge is coming up saying, no, man, these people, this is national security and stuff. Things are going to get in the way and stuff. So that actually sort of makes sense. And it was kind of fun, which really helps. You're not sitting, you're enjoying yourself watching the movie. There at no real point do you sit here and think, oh, come on, seriously, how stupid are these people? Because they're much less stupid than a good amount of people in horror movies, especially like the movie Wolfman that I saw yesterday. And the acting is fun. It's got some really good humor to it, and it has Dick Miller in it. If you watch any Joe Dante movie or some of the old horror classics, there's Dick Miller. He's in, I think, all Joe Dante movies. He was, think Terminator, the guy who was when the Terminator goes into the gun shop to buy guns. He played the gun store clerk that Schwarzenegger wound up shooting. But it's like an hour and 20 minutes long, and it really kind of flows well. It's not super hokey. I mean, there is an amount of hokey to it, which, when done well, isn't bad, and that's one of the things about this. That it is the good hokey, and it still sort of makes sense, if that actually makes sense. One thing from another. So the heroes are actually thinking, okay, we didn't get to hear what's going to happen next. So they're trying to stay ahead of it and get around the roadblocks that are in the way, like the police arresting them and getting them stuck in jail. Okay, how do I get out of this and get to this next thing to try and convince these people to do something? And none of it is forced, really. And so it's kind of a good movie. And the people who deserve comeuppance get it at the end. And there's only one little thing at the end where I am at sitting there thinking, yeah, okay. Because there's a part where Paul is this thing, okay, they're on a boat and he has a tow line on there, and he's like, I'm going to tie this around myself and I'm going to go swim here, and after a certain point, pull me back if I don't come back up. Tow rope, that's the ones where you see people doing water skiing and stuff like that. That was the longest tow rope I have ever seen on a ski boat, because he was able to go quite a ways on that with that tow rope, which happened to be a lot shorter when it was up in the boat. But that was just the one thing. But this was a good movie. The acting was good. The script was good. The story was pretty entertaining. Had some good humor to it. I'm going to give it a 3.75 out of 5 and recommend you watch it because it was fun. Nice little cult classic. So 3.75 out of 5. Let me know if you saw it in the comments below and what you thought of it. And like, subscribe, and most of all, enjoy your horror movies.